God, please, no! 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 No!
Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Russian Tier 8 TD, the SU-130PM. This is a tank that I really enjoy, and when it first came out it was one that I just had to get because I'd seen it played on PC quite a lot and I knew what it was about, and I really just wanted this tank because it's a hard slapping mobile medium tank, right? It's the Russian version of the Scorpion pretty much. It's just less accurate. But obviously now, being the fact that we are post 6.0, the accuracy really doesn't matter as much because most of the guns in the game are accurate. Now this first game is the one that the title describes, and that is because I own both versions of the SU-130PM, because I bought the Shashka when that first came out, because obviously I really wanted the SU-130PM. It was one that I had my eye on for a while, just like the Baraska that recently came out. And then they gave the original SU-130PM away for free, because typically, why not? So actually, I have both versions of it, and what happened here is that I put a crew in it, and I just forgot which one I actually had all the stuff on. So this one, I put the crew in, and it doesn't have any ammo. It only has the standard ammo and the HE, the standard loadout you get with the tank when it first gets bought. It has no equipment whatsoever. And I didn't even realise until we got towards the end of the game, and I think I got towards the end of the game and I went, wait, I've got no heat rounds. This is weird. It's a bit odd. And obviously, like right there, I might have spotted that Dragon if I had the equipment, say optics and stuff like that, but I didn't. The other thing is, I don't have any consumables either. And this is where I realised I don't have any consumables. I've got no food, I've got no med kit, no repair kit. We've got issues, and now I'm blind as a bat because I have no commander, so I've got very little view range. And I just decided, you know what, screw it. I've screwed this up already. We're just going to go over here and play really blasé. And it seemed to work for us. And it's a tank that I really enjoy because it slaps hard, and it's just amazing. The mobility's pretty good as well, and the camo's nice. So we're on Pilsen, and like I say, it's not the best. It's not the best map for it, but at the same time, because we have a semi-traversable turret and a hard-hitting gun, it means you can play peekaboo relatively easily with the tank like this. So we've come to this side of the flank, and we're just going to use this building on our right now to keep playing peekaboo with the enemy team, because every time we reload we can just literally pull out, slap a shot in, and then pull back. We get a nice shot into that Dragon. Unfortunately, even though we've got 520 alpha, we roll for 477 because that's what low rolls do. Well, that's what damage rolls do all the time now. But he gets shut down anyway. And we're just going to keep poking and finding shots at these guys. So we get a nice shot into the side of that Mauerbrecher. And it's basically a simple game of this now, really. And we're just going to keep literally poking. And we're just hoping that we keep friends and allies on this flank, because obviously we're going to die really quickly if we don't have much help. We get a nice shot into that Becky Lynch, and that looked like, I definitely thought that at the time when I pulled the trigger, that was going to miss, but it actually went in, which is great. It's what we wanted, it's what we needed, and we're just going to keep pulling back because our friends are dying left, right and centre. But with that medium tank YOLO in the SU-130PM there, he is the biggest threat on our left, and he is the issue, which is what is making me hesitant. But now he's getting YOLO'd, I know that I can pull forward. So we get a nice shot into the 50 TP prototype, and we're just going to pull back because that guy is just going to hurt us. I mean, we are playing a dangerous game as well because we're a one-shot for pretty much everything. So we're playing quite cautiously here. We're detected, which means he is looking at us, and I'm just going to hide in this little crevice that is here to stay away. But this 50 TP does have things to think about. Obviously, he's just fired and missed at me, so I'm going to pull out and slap a shot straight into his side. But yeah, like I say, he has things to think about, because he's got medium tank behind him, and he's got me on this side. But he is determined to get me, because my help has gone. That medium tank that's down there has run away, and I don't have anything else covering me, although it is coming right now in the medium tank, which is Chopper. That's it. I'm sitting with Chopper and Swindle at the minute, and obviously Chopper said, oh, I'm coming round. just wait a second. It's like, okay, great. He shut him down, he helped me, saved me. And then we've got the back of this Diamondback, and unfortunately the shot actually dropped wide and only trapped the guy, which is pretty typical. But we get a nice shot straight into the side of him anyway. I was kind of debating whether that would go in because of the angle that the Diamondback ended up giving us there, but we were fortunate enough it did. And like I say, I am playing it extremely cautiously, because obviously I do have Chopper with me, and he's not actually that healthy either in the T-44. And I'm a one-shot as well, and yeah, it's kind of risky. Obviously, I've got no commander, so I don't know when I'm spotted. I don't know anything about that. I've not really got any view range. I can get out-spotted incredibly easily. I've got no equipment, so my DPM isn't the best. I've got no view range anyway, because obviously I've got no equipment on it to boost it. So this is a little bit of a struggle. And obviously, it's one of those things that you just sort of like don't realise how much sometimes that you want or you need the equipment. But I mean, we have a good go at it in this game without it. So this Draugr, I am waiting for him to come round this corner because he's getting shot up by a TD, but he doesn't seem to want to move forward. And then I see this guy that's pulling up over here. It is the Diamondback. I'm thinking, you know what? Let's just go get a shot in. See if we can go get a shot into this Diamondback. But he's actually going around the buildings over there, so I'm not actually going to get a shot at him unless he drives out this way. But he seems to have stopped. It's like, okay, I'm going to get the flank. But everyone else has done it, so yeah, it's kind of a risky one because everyone else has done exactly the same as me. Instead of going around behind them, they've come around. I say behind them. They've come around in front of them. They've come around behind them. So everyone's had the same idea, which means that these guys have pretty much turned around. But we've now got a medium tank that's shooting them in the backside. So naturally, these guys have turned around to face it, and we're just going to pummel a shot into him. And we're up to 4.3k damage now, and this Chrysler is coming. It's like, oh, no, this is my death. Not Chrysler, Stone Cold. But he pulls around the corner, gets absolutely blapped, and then doesn't actually end up chasing us. So we go back around the corner, hoping to get a shot into this Dragon before he dies, and we actually shut him down. And that was a really nice game for the SU-130 PM, especially the fact that we had no equipment, no consumables, basic loadout. The only thing we actually had was a crew. And we finished that game with 2 kills, 4.7k damage. And like I say, I mean, when I'm in the SU-130 PM and I see Pilsen, never mind the fact that I had no crew, no consumables, never mind the fact we only had a crew, no consumables, and no equipment. The fact that was an ace, that was a first class, high caliber, 1700 base, 4.7k damage. Pilsen is one of those maps that you get in the SU-130 PM, and you think, actually, it's not too bad, because it's basically because of the high alpha. There's a lot worse TDs to be on Pilsen in than something like the Scorpion or the SU-130 PM. Now, they may be paper thin, right, but the thing is, you slap as hard as some of the other tanks, and especially at the tier, if you get top tier on Pilsen, you're going to be facing things like Tiger 2s, which have 300 alpha, and you just go, ha lol, you think you have armour, slap straight through the front for 520 or 490. You know, they've done 300 to you. You're trade king, you know. You may not have the HP, but you have the trade ability, which is always amazing. So here we are in the Shashka, and this time we're playing the right SU. We're playing the one with the equipment, with all the loadout, everything. We've got the consumables, and we're on Fisherman's Bay. And we're going to go up to this position that I always take up on Fisherman's Bay, which is this position here at E67. And that's because it's just the shots downrange that you get out. And I'll always say it, the shots that you get downrange are fantastic. And you've got all the foliage, all the cover in the universe, which means you can stay behind cover and get shots. But it is one that you've got to realise when its usefulness has probably like outlived itself, and you've got to get away from it, because there gets to a point sometimes where they've pushed into the town enough, they have enough shots up at you, and they're not getting really counted for it. So right here we're getting some nice shots into this 705. Unfortunately that one didn't pen, and here we go. The guys are in the town now, and I'm looking at these guys, seeing if I can get side shots. Now, they have shots at me. If this building in front of me was gone, I would definitely have shots at them. Now, we've got a slim shot here, and we're going to try and chance it. And it actually flies straight into that. I think it was an IS-7. And it's beautiful. But there we go. We're getting shot in the back. And that's... I think it might have been from that light tank, but at the same time, we could have actually been shot from their hill at A2, because they can get shots at you here. And that's another shot that goes straight into the pike nose of that IS-7. That is the great thing about the pen on the SU, is sometimes you can catch things like an IS-7 like that and get beautiful shots in. So right, I am debating on just shooting this building down, but if the IS-7 is going to keep pulling back like that, we're just going to take the opportunity, and we set him on fire. And, oh, it's great. I really do enjoy this tank. This is a very, very fun TD. I mean, before 6.0, it was definitely... I enjoyed this tank a hell of a lot more than the Scorpion, because the Scorpion was just... I don't know, it was one of those tanks that missed more shots than it should have done for me, and I have no idea why. I just didn't want to hit anything, and this thing... you know, hit a lot of shots, but for the most part, when it missed, I knew it was going to miss anyway because it didn't have quite, you know, it didn't quite have the accuracy of the Scorpion G. So right here, this T-44 has made a mistake. He's driven out right next to me, which means I get a nice auto-aim shot into him. Luckily enough for me, I actually tracked him as well, which wasn't intentional, but we got the assistance for it. Now we're going to aim up, slap another shot straight through him, and we've taken like three quarters of his health in 2 shots. That kind of stopping power in a tier 8 is just delightful. So we're looking for shots at that M103, can't quite find it, and again this building is being a pain in the backside. This building is one that's a good one to destroy for both sides, because if you destroy it you get good shots everywhere. There we get a nice shot through the back end of the M103, break his engine, and it's one that you always, if you get the side of an M103, it's always good to aim for the back end of it, because you can break the engine, you can also set them on fire doing that. And that's one thing that you get to know with some tanks, especially like American tanks, that if you shoot them in the backs of the tank, the back half of it, you will most of the time do engine damage, and obviously that comes with the chance of setting the engine on fire, which, you know, something you might want to think about doing, because fires are great. Fires create damage. So unfortunately we ricocheted on that 268 V5, it's not 704. And then we got a nice shot through the other guy. Now I'm waiting to get unspotted before I move here, because I'm just using this building. There is 2 artillery, and I'm kind of thinking they're either in that corner at A8, A9, or they're in the other corner. And I think, you know what, I'm going to chance it. I'm not getting detected. I'm going to poke out, kill this T-44, and that's what we do. And I'm kind of concerned about behind me as well, because there's a Vanguard marauding around. He's probably going to do God's work. And I'm kind of like, you know what, I might just let him, because the likelihood of hitting a Vanguard in this thing is... well, the likelihood of hitting Vanguards anyway is annoyingly low. You seem to just hit them and do track damage every single time. So I'm just like, let him do what he wants. So I'm just going to go focus on what I can actually guaranteed hit. So we're going to keep using the foliage here as we move up to hide here. We have got most of our team moving up the A line. So I don't want to be too aggressive here, because they still do have 3 TDs, and those 3 TDs are most likely sitting up there, and they will hurt me. They will hurt me in many ways that I don't want to get hurt. Like, it's 268 V5 and a Grilla 15. The 268 V5 might one-shot me. The Grilla will take a substantial amount of hit points away from me. And there we go, the team's moving up, they spot the T92, we shut him down. And it's just the waiting game. And there we go. Now they're moving forward again. We've got a side shot on this Gorilla. We get a nice shot straight through his turret and finish him off, because he got blapped by everyone else. But now we're going to slowly but surely move up, so that we actually have better shots across at this line, because this is where I'm expecting the TDs and the heavy to be. The Vanguards just got shut down by a heavy tank that went back to defend the artillery. So pretty much everything that the enemy tanks that we know are alive are going to be directly in front of us. So I'm just going to wait, because there's like I said, there's things moving up. We've got the heavy tank on the 1 line, the heavy tank on the A line. We know they're going to get spotted, and we're just going to play the typical TD role. We're going to be support. We're going to get some shots in. We're going to feed people assistance, and we're just not going to play too aggressively. We're going to wait for them to get spotted and have the shots from the vantage point to provide the damage. We pop a blind shot at that SU, and we finish him off, which is always great. Then the V5 gets spotted, and we're looking for slim shots at this guy, and we get a shot right through his turret, which is lovely. This is what I'm talking about with the accuracy. Post 6.0, you're more likely to hit those shots than you were pre 6.0. Pre 6.0, you were probably quite likely to hit the dirt there, but fortunately enough, it flew right in. It's exactly what we wanted. But now there's only that V5 and the heavy tank. We're going to move up. And I'm looking at it going, IS-3 and V5. Well, they're in that corner, right? They're already there. And there's no IS-3 spotted. What if he's down near our base? Because that heavy tank didn't go down the one line, he cut in at like D1. So it's like, well, that V5's dead. I'm never going to get any damage off on that guy. So, you know what? Let's charge towards the IS-3. Let's go this way. And lo and behold, he is in that corner. He's very low health. We get into a position where we could get a shot at him. But unfortunately, we capped. So we didn't get that final shot of damage off, which is really unfortunate. But there we go. That's cappings for winners. And that's the way it goes for you sometimes, right? So we come top. We end up with 5 kills. So that would have been our top gun as well. Ace tanker, high caliber, sniper medal. We ended up with just over 6k damage. 2.4k base. It was a very tier 10 game as well, which is nice to always have those sorts of games in that sort of matchmaking. Yeah, and that's the SU-130PM, and it is a very nice tank destroyer. I really enjoy it. I enjoy how hard it slaps. I enjoy the mobility. The semi-traversable turret's great. It's a very nice tank. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
A great success!